Okay, we're live. Welcome to the midway Q&A and check-in session. This is just for us to make sure everyone has what they need to answer any questions. I have Heather here, who's our developer community programs manager at BigCommerce, and then we have Naresh, who's a principal technologist at Google. So we'll just kind of run through anything you need to know. I had the YouTube link open and it started playing while we were talking. Okay. So I think, do we want to kick off, Naresh, with those helpful links you wanted to share?
Oh, absolutely. So, hello again, everyone. What I wanted to do quickly is tell you two important things, right? And let's start with the first one. So, I just wanted to reiterate that these are some helpful links that you can use, and I'll be more than happy to share this with Heather and Katie or put it on the Slack with all of the links. There are three things that you need to be very careful about. Number one is there is some quota limit on the embedding. So when you are using the text embeddings, there is a quota limit. And what you want to do is you go to this kit, and there are some functions that control, like a traffic signal, traffic light, the number of requests per minute. So that is number one. Number two is many of you might be imagining about uh, Meta's Llama or Hugging Face. So there are so many models out there. So how can I use it? Can I use Google for that? Absolutely yes. The way to do that would be Model Garden that we talked about a couple of days ago. So Model Garden is the number one place where you want to go and look for open source models that are available. And or even if you have a model which is not listed in Model Garden, can be also deployed on the Vertex AI. So do not hesitate to use open source models if you feel that that works better for your use case. And last but not the least, reach out. Feel free to reach out if you have specific questions. If you're hitting quotas, if you're hitting limits, you are unable to execute one library or the other. But at this point in time, um, you are open to run. I think we got credits, Katie and Heather, right, for them to run as well. So let me know if we do not like, but uh, these are three things. And number one last thing that I want to mention is that this is the first one, which is the Git samples over here, not the first one, but the second one. And this is the generative AI kit. This gives you a lot of good information on how you really want to structure. So if you have a best practice that you are following, please do follow. But if you are trying to find a new best practice, there are some good ideation examples over here. So that's what I wanted to share. Heather, Katie, any questions? More than happy to answer.
Awesome. And we don't have very many people in here live right now, but we will post those links. Let's post those links in Dev Slack. So anyone who's watching this later, you'll find those over in the developer Slack channel. Perfect. Okay. All right. Is there anything else, Naresh, that you want to touch on before we dive into some other things?
That's pretty much it. I mean, I'm open. We are here to support.
Awesome. Yeah. And if anyone jumps in and has questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat. We'll answer them live. Otherwise, we'll just kind of run through a few other things. Heather, do you want to talk about the Hackpack and Dev Slack?
Yeah, sure. So I guess with the hack pack, if you're having any, if you're finding everything you need, awesome. If there's anything that you're not finding that you do need or that would be nice to have there, please do let us know. Like we mentioned in Slack, the weekend is coming up. So we have today and tomorrow, and then there will be a bit more limited availability from all of us SMEs. So if there is anything that isn't there or that you need, let us know ASAP. But the hack pack should be pretty set. We spent a lot of time making sure that was solid for you. We'll get these links sent that I shared into Slack. But But yeah, the hack pack is there for you. There is a key point in the hack pack that I would like for all of our hackers to take a look at some point over the next few days, and it is our midway survey. If you could go to the FAQs and forums tab, and there is the midway survey link there. We can also share it out. But yeah, that's basically really important for us as like the hackathon organizing team, I guess, so that we know what we're doing right, what we need to change or anything like that. And then also, yeah, just any notes or anything that you want to share with us. And then DevSlack. It's really important that you are in DevSlack if you are participating in this event. If you are having any issues at all with that, please send us an email at hackathon@bigcommerce.com so we can make sure that you are in and you have access. You have access to the Hackathon channel, which is BigAI Hackathon, but you also have access to the entire Slack. So this is a really great resource for you. You can go and you can search the Slack for anything that is related to BigCommerce to see what other folks, developers, partners, and such have been experiencing with the platform, to even troubleshoot or to, post in other channels too. If you're getting on to the weekend and you're not really sure where to go. If you need any help with anything BigCommerce, we'll be here and there, but Slack is also a really great resource that you can search keywords to find different solutions too.
Totally. The Dev Slack is like essential and not everyone's in it yet. So if you're not in it, access is granted after you submit that application. You'll get in right away, but we just need you to fill out that form. So the link is it's in the hack pack and it's also in the chat of this video. So if you're someone who's not in, that's a really, really valuable place to be. So
Yes.
before you get in there. Okay, awesome. So I can jump into talking about the prizes and kind of your projects in general. So the prizes, we've talked about this, but I'll go through it one more time. So first place is the Ecom AI Excellence Award, and that's a $3,000 cash prize or prize voucher where you can get other goods, but you can get cash. It's a $0 app submission fee when you submit that app to our marketplace, and then a 6 months zero revenue share on that app. Second place is the Innovator's Choice Award, which is a $2,000 prize, and same for no app submission fee and no revenue share for 6 months. Third place is the AI Commerce Disruptor Award, which is $1,000 or a voucher, and then the same, no app submission fee, no rev share for 6 months. And then the Outstanding Achievement Award is kind of our honorable mention award that has no cash prize, but it does also have the no app submission and 6 months no rev share. So those are 4 really awesome prizes. And we're really, really excited. If you want to see more about what we're looking for each of those prizes, for the sake of time, I'm not going to read through them, but they're all in the hack pack on the awards submission page. So now we can kind of talk about your projects. So the projects are in full swing. We're really excited to see what you guys build. And I just want to talk about a few little details. So if you're planning to deploy your project and you don't have enough Google credits or you want to try something different, you can deploy using Google Cloud or you can deploy using Vercel. There's an integration built into the AI Foundations app that you all have access to, that open source repo. There's an integration in there to deploy using Vercel. So if you have questions about that, you want to explore that a little more, there's some folks from Vercel in the Slack channel. So feel free to post questions and they can get to them, and they'll be very helpful if you run into anything. But the integration should work pretty easily. Next is submissions. So less than a week away, you'll all be submitting your projects. A week from today, we'll be starting to judge them. And there's only a few requirements for the submission, but they're hard requirements. So the first is a video walkthrough. So you can film that using Loom, Google Meet, Zoom, whatever works for you. And we ask that it's under 7 minutes. And that sounds long, but we've gotten longer submission videos. So try to keep it under 7 minutes. And I really suggest that you talk during it. Explain to us why you built this. Who is your user? What challenges did you run into? What would you add if you had more time? Kind of like walk us through the process, what you built, why you built it, and who you built it for. Because I think that becomes a really compelling story. I think Tommy in our session yesterday kind of mentioned, like, if you can put us in the shoes of the user while you walk through the app, it really helps us understand the app. And I think it makes us more likely to really understand where you're coming from. So I really recommend that. The next is a repo, just a GitHub repo. And if it's a private repo, which I'm assuming most of them will be, you'll just have to share it with the judging team. So we'll send out all those GitHub handles next week. So don't worry about that. We'll get those out to you, and you'll be ready to go. And we'll also send a reminder email. We'll send reminders in Slack. So, if you don't watch this video, or you're worried about remembering all these things, don't worry. We'll touch on it next week. And the next thing is, all of you, or most of you, I'm guessing, are building apps. So later today, we have a Twitter Space session at, I believe, noon Central. Let me double check. 1 p.m. Central. 1 p.m. Central. I'm in Mountain Time, and I'm always doing my time zone math wrong. So 1 p.m. Central, we're hosting a Twitter Space with John Nichols from our app experience team, who knows all about getting apps into the marketplace, what they need, what our marketplace team looks for, and he'll have tons of insight about apps in general. So if you're building an app and you have any questions, you really want to take this to the marketplace, this is a great thing for you to join. Feel free to send us questions in Slack beforehand, or I'll let people jump in while it's happening. So that's something to look forward to. And app extensions are the highlighted feature from BigCommerce. So app extensions are baked into that AI Foundations repo. And so they're already ready to go. And I know Matt Volk has spoken about them in a previous session. We've touched on them a couple of times, and there's also a solution series from a couple weeks ago that I did with Rob Alvarez from the app extensions team, all about app extensions. So there's tons of app extensions content available to you, including in the Hack Pack. So be sure to include that in your app if you can. That's something we're looking for in judging, and something we're excited to see. And also a really cool feature of the platform, that you can make your app look so native and so easy to use by merchants or anybody in the control panel. Let me check if there's anything else I wanted to touch on. Heather, did I miss anything? I think that's kind of it.
Yeah, I don't think so, but just want to highlight again your demo submission video. It is like pretty much your main point of like connection with us as judges, because there are some people who aren't involved in our sessions that are judges as well. So this gives you a chance to let them know exactly what your like goals were with this, and also what you're doing in the future, so that we can kind of like see what your ideas are for growth and all of that. And if it embeds with other features and other, big things for BigCommerce, that's always a plus. Like if this is multi-storefront enabled or compatible with other things, it is something that we really do like to see.
Totally. And yes, and I also want to double down on that midway survey that Heather mentioned before. If you've done hackathons in the past, I think it's clear that we're hearing you, and we're listening, and we're iterating with each event that we do. We really, really value your opinion, because you guys are the ones participating in this, and we're, in our home offices hoping that you're enjoying it. But we can't see you. And so this is a real opportunity for you to give us all that feedback. We are happy to take negative feedback, positive feedback, anything you have, so that we can make our future events even better. And we can also even iterate in this event. We can make small changes through the end of this event as well. So be sure to fill that out. That's super, super valuable to us. And we'll have the link in Dev Slack if you don't have it, or you don't know where to find it in the Hack Pack. But like Heather said, it is in the forms and FAQs tab in the Hack Pack.
It's also anonymous, so keep that in mind. So please be as candid as possible with us.
Yes, we don't even need to know who it's coming from. We're just happy to hear it.
Yes.
Okay. I don't see any questions. Let me check Slack.
I don't see any questions here as well.
Yeah, I didn't see any in Slack either.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Well, if you're watching this asynchronously and you have a ton of questions and we didn't answer them because we didn't hear them yet, please drop them in Dev Slack. Feel free to, if you have a bigger problem, like Heather mentioned, feel free to email hackathon@bigcommerce.com. That goes to our whole team. You'll get our attention right away. And we're happy to answer questions. Again, through the end of the week, we won't be online on the weekend. So any of those burning questions, be sure to get those in by like midday tomorrow, so that someone is there to answer them for you. Otherwise, we'll pick all the questions up on Monday. And I think that's it. So since there's no questions, we can close this out early. And yeah, happy hacking, everyone. And thanks everyone for joining.
Thanks, y'all.